Πάντα έχω παρόμοιτε πάντα πληρώνω ο θησαυρός των αγαθών και της ζωής φυγός, ελθέ και σκήνωσον εμεί, καθαρίσον μας πάσης κλείδος και σώσον αγαθέτας ψυχάς ημών.
Δόξα Πατρί και Αγία Πνεύματι και νύχια εξουσία στον εναμή και ελέησον λόγισον.
Η ευχών των Αγίων Πατρών ημών, Κύριε Ιησού Χριστέ ο Θεός, ελέησον και σώσον εμάς.
Αμήν. So, we are very happy to be with you today.
We're very happy to see you.
And blessed, we feel very blessed because we live in the times that it's very difficult to find people to understand what they need, the needs of be close to Christ, because the most important thing in our lives is to be connected with Him, with God. And this is the absence of God today is more obvious than ever. And what is going on, they are trying to take God from our hearts and from our lives. So the problem is that we have to deal with all these problems that we have as persons, but we have also to fight against this new world order that they want to bring their leader, the Antichrist. And the most important thing is that we don't have the help from the official church. That the problem is that the purpose of being there, the bishops and the priests, is to help people to understand how we have to fight all these things that they are against us, and not only for ourselves, because everyone have their own problems, the personal problems, passions, and all these sins that we are dealing. But above all this, we have a fight that is a general fight against our faith, and they try to diminish our faith. They try to vanish everything that is Orthodox, so people will not be able to have the help from above and to be able to push their lives near Jesus and to manage to be saved and to be near Jesus. You know, this is the main problem today, and that's why we are doing also these conferences, these meetings, synaxis we call it in Greek. We are gathering because it's more important today than ever to be united in this fight, because as Prophet David says that if the brothers are together, they are strong. If we are separate, then we have a problem. So, of course, I will be it will be very short what I say, because I know you have many questions, and your questions are questions also for other people, and it's nice to answer all these things. But I would like to make a prologue about this great problem that we are dealing today, and it's the Ecumenism. That is not something that exists only 125 years now. It exists a long time ago, because the Ecumenism, the heresies of panairesi, as Saint Justin call it, the Serbian, says that it's not a simple heresy, Ecumenism. So I will take it from the beginning, because it's very important to start from the beginning. What is the beginning? The beginning is that the only place that we can be saved and that we can be contact God and be united with God is the Orthodox Church. Okay? The only real God is Jesus Christ. We have the Holy Trinity, 3 persons, one God. It's a mystery that no one can explore, nobody can explain about this. But we believe it because we took it from our tradition in church and from the dogma that the Holy Fathers gave us through the Holy Synods and through their words. So, the most important thing that we have to begin is that we are made by God to become gods, and this procedure can be done only inside the Orthodox Church. No other churches exist with the grace of God, and only in the Orthodox Church we can accomplish our salvation. Nowhere else. And this is also what the apostles preached in the world. When they went and they spread to the world, they was preaching that the only real God is Jesus Christ, and we can accomplish our salvation only if we are members of the Orthodox Church, to be baptized, and of course not to be a member makes you worthy to be saved, but you have to work on it. You have to fight for your salvation, and to accomplish this, of course, you need the help of God. The most important thing. But above all this, you have to fight against your passions, against the evil, against the heresies, against all these things that they are fighting the Orthodox Church. So, with this fight, and of course with the help of God, most important, you will be saved. You will gain your salvation. This is the most important thing. This is the preaching of our church. Now, these heresies that we during these 2,000 years that we have our church, from the Pentecost and here, we saw many heresies that they came from the church. And what is heresies? Heresies, it's a teaching, it's a false teaching about God, that is teaching you a God that does not exist. For example, Arius, he was teaching then that Jesus Christ was made from God. He was built from God. He wasn't a member of the Holy Trinity as we know, but he is a building of God. This, of course, if you accept this, you send your salvation to the garbages, because a person that is builded, that is created from the Creator, is not able to save you. So if you believe this kind of Jesus Christ that Arius was preaching, or if you believe the Christ that the Muslims believes, that he is a prophet, just a prophet, or the witnesses of Jehovah, that he is also like Arianism, then you believe in Christ that he is not able to save you. And the praise that you are doing when you are in heresies, it's wasted. It's a waste of time, because you pray to a God that don't exist. So that's why, and we have all these things that we say. We have also, to give an example, who says these things is what I say to you is not my words. They are the words of the Holy Fathers. That's why one of the greatest theologians in our church, Saint Gregorios Palamas, that he lived in 14th century, and he was persecuted by the papists and by many people, heretics, and he was one of the people that he kept the Orthodoxy alive. So today we can name ourselves Orthodox. He said that we have three kinds of atheism. The one kind of atheism is the classic atheism, that I don't believe in God, there is no God. Okay? The second kind of atheism is the heresies. And now we can question this, and we can say, but the heretics, they believe in God, but in another God. They are not atheists. But the Saint Gregorios Palamas says that no, they are atheists, because the God that they believe don't exist. So they are atheists. You know, it's very important. So that's why the Holy Fathers was trying to prevent the heresies. The heresies is a false teaching. It's okay, it's not the teaching of the apostles, it's not the teaching of the Holy Fathers, how they gave us to believe in Holy Trinity. Because if you don't believe correct in Holy Trinity, then you damage your salvation, you ruin your salvation, you dynamite your salvation. And that's why the Holy Fathers, all the Holy Fathers of Orthodoxy, they was fighting against heretics, because the heretic preaching, the heretic teachings are teachings, as the Saint Maximus, the confessor, says, is a teaching, a false teaching that is coming from the devil, straight from the devil, to change the teaching of the Orthodoxy, to change the dogma, so people will not be salvaged, will not be saved by believing in these false teachings. So you understand that the heresies is something that destroy your salvation. And that's why Holy Fathers gave their lives, their souls, they split their blood for this, to prevent the heresies to come inside the church, or to speak to people not to believe to heresies, but to stick in the Orthodoxy faith. So you understand that it's very important to be Orthodox, as the Holy Fathers gave us, and as the Holy Apostles gave the faith. Otherwise, we're not going to be saved. Now, the Ecumenism is a puzzle of heresies. They are all the heresies together. As I said to you before, the heresies is a false teaching. And each one of these heresies that they was preaching in the previous centuries, they had a point that there was wrong. For example, Arius was saying that Jesus Christ is built by God. Nestorius was saying that the goddess of Jesus Christ was living inside the body of the person Jesus Christ. He didn't became the man, Jesus Christ didn't became God, but he was living inside. It was possessed by the goddess. That is something wrong, because Jesus Christ, the person, the human, became a God. And these two dimensions, the humanity and the goddess, became one. It's a mystery. But also, it was remained separate, these two dimensions, but it was in one person. It's something that we can't explain. It's a mystery. So we see that every heretic, all of the heretics, was making a mistake in one teaching. The Ecumenism is a puzzle of heresies, is all the heresies together. That's why, for example, the Patriarch of Constantinople, Bartholomeus, he's preaching that the Quran is a holy Bible, it's a holy book, and everybody can be saved in every religion. It doesn't matter what you believe, you can be saved. All the religions, he says, they are roads that leads to God. And also his blasphemy against the Holy Fathers, and they say that these fathers, not holy, these fathers, our fathers, gave us they separate us from the papists, and we have to blame them about the separation. And now we have to be connected with the papists, but not to accept them, because we want the unity with everybody. But the Holy Apostles, when they want to preach the Orthodoxy, they didn't say, come to us and we don't care what you believe, just to be one. They said what Jesus Christ said. The one who believes and be baptized will be saved. The one who is not going to be baptized and not believe is not going to be saved. So the preaching of the Apostles and the Orthodox Church is, yes, we want everybody to be saved. Of course, Jesus Christ wants this. And we want also, but we have some conditions to be inside the church. Not everybody is going to be saved. If you don't follow the Orthodox teaching as we took it from the Apostles, you are not going to be saved. And now these people, the ecumenists, come to us and says, these are past. These teachings, it's no longer valid. We have to renew now, and we have to make another procedure in Orthodoxy. They are changing everything in Orthodoxy. This is the problem. And what they say that you can be whatever you want to be, you can believe whatever you want to believe, and you can be saved if you are a good person. You know, you can be a homosexual and there's no problem with God. You can be, we have no problem with homosexuals, with the persons. But this sin, for example, I can say an example, it's a sin, okay, and you have to fight it. As not only this, we can't say that, okay, I love you so I don't see the sin and I see only love, or I don't see your heresies and I accept you like you are. No, we have to say to you what you have to do. So we will help you to be saved. Otherwise, how can we help you if we don't say the truth? The ecumenism is this false preaching of the truth that wants everybody to be able to be saved without fighting, without keeping the Orthodox dogma, and without to be an Orthodox person, without to be in an Orthodox church. That's why we are fighting and we are stopping the communion with the ecumenism, okay? And that's why many fathers, also Father Athanasios Mytilineos, it's a Greek father that he was speaking about this, also Iostin Popovich was saying that the car, how can I say, the mobile, το άρμα, πώς είναι το άρμα στα αγγλικά τώρα, what is going to bring Antichrist in the authority is the ecumenism, because the ecumenism is working in three ways. It's working in the economical άξονας, πώς είναι? Axle. Yes, we have three axles. Okay, we have the economical axle, the religion axle, and we have the politician axle. And this ecumenism is working all these three axles. That's why this ecumenism, these heresies, is not just an heresy. Is the vehicle that will bring the Antichrist in authority. And this ecumenism will give him all this power that he needs to conquer the world and to be a dictator. So he will make people to bow on him and to deny Christ. And we see this because they want one politician to rule, they want one economy, world economy, and they want one religion. And why all these things? Because they want one dictator, they want one person that who leads everybody to his religion. And this is also what Satan wants. Satan wants to be bowed by people and to be worshipped by people. You know, this is what he wants. And he wants to make it, to succeed this by a person, because the people that they will worship the Antichrist, this worship will go to the Satan, not to him, actually, okay? And these things we have to understand. Now I present these things very simple, but we always have to have these things in our mind, because we lose our way many times. And it's not easy, because all this materialism that we are living and we are experiencing in our life, it's a satanic thing, because they try to take our mind, our soul, our heart away from God and away from our salvation. That everybody of us is going to meet death, and we don't know when. Maybe soon, maybe later, but it will be for sure that everybody is going to die, and we are going to meet our Creator and to give explanations for whatever we've done. The New Age and the ecumenism want to throw away this spirituality from the people, because they put the materialism so people will forget for the reason, the purpose that we are living. And this is it's a major problem, because if we forget our target, then we are not going to work for our salvation, and we will be lost. And if we lose the salvation, if we lose the paradise, the kingdom of heaven, we are doomed. You know, we see sometimes we experience sorrow in our life. with some problems that we have, with some difficulties that we have, and it's difficult to experience sorrow and to be depressed by some things that we are living. What we are experienced with depressed in this life, it's a Eden garden if we compare it with the hell, you know. So we have to be conscious that all these things that are happening in our lives and what is happening in the society is controlled by the new age, by the new world order, and they want us to lose our faith, to lose our God, to lose Jesus Christ from our lives. This is something that this preaching must be every day in the church, and every day they have to preach these things to people, because the fight is strong and the war is very difficult that we are experiencing. The personal war that everybody have, you know, not only with our passions, but the devil is fighting each of one to be away from Jesus Christ, to be away from the prayer, to be away from the virtues, and so we will lose our salvation. The role of the church is to remind people these things every day, and to remind people that we are in a war, and this war is not going to be ended until we die. And our purpose is, when we die, to be ready. And what means to be ready? Two things: to be Orthodox, to keep our faith, that is very important, as we delivered by the Holy Apostles, and to fight against the evil, against the passions, against the sin. That is something very important, these two things. If we don't do these things, we are not going to be saved. And this is the most horrible thing, to not to be saved. That's why this new world order is trying to persuade people, convince people to live in a materialistic way, and to forget the spirituality, to forget the prayer, to forget the power of God, the strength of Jesus Christ, how strong, how amazing is our God, you know, how big He is, that we are not able to understand. If you look the sky, and if you see the stars, and if you try to imagine how energy is there that is inside and is not released, and how big is this space, and that Jesus Christ have it in His hand, as we are chanting in our church, you know, we will understand that Jesus Christ have the power to save us. And if we are with Him, nothing will be against us. If you are with God, no one can be against you. That's why the devil is trying to remove us close from God, to live in a materialistic way, so we will be away from God, away from His help, away from His energy, away from His help, and we will be lost. And this is a problem. We have also must pray. And that's why Holy Father says, pray that Jesus pray. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy upon me. Son of God, have mercy upon me. Because in this way, we are always have memory of God. And always we are bringing God, and this is what Apostle Paul said. Always pray. Always glorify God. Okay, this is very important. Now, the new age of the Antichrist, the new world order, is trying to persuade people to live in this materialistic way, and we must resist, and we must resist also against the hierarchy of the Orthodox Church, because now we see that the bishops and the priests that they are following the bishops, they are ecumenists. They obey to the new world order. Most of these people, they are Masons. They sell their lives for money and for authority, for power. You know what we have to do now, and this is the problem, and this is something that is very difficult, because people, they don't know what they have to do. we have to break communion with them. We have to stop commemorate them, and we have to break communion. You understand what is break communion? Okay? Meaning that we must not pray with them anymore. And this, we must not go to the temples, to the buildings, not the church, because the church is in another thing. The buildings, the temples in another thing, is another thing. You know, when we say I don't go to the church, it's a wrong phrase. I don't go to the temples. I don't go to the ecumenists. I don't go to the church. It's like you go out of the church. When you break the communion, when you stop commemorate the bishops and the priests, it doesn't mean that you go out of the church. The holy canons of our Orthodoxy, of our faith, that they are in this book, Pidalion, many of them, more than 15, that they are specific, but because there are dozens of these canons that speaks about these things, but some specific, we can use one. We have to use many, because if you use one canon, it's representing all the Orthodoxy, one canon. But there are many, like the 15 canon of the First and Second Synod of Great Photius in Constantinople at the age of 861, the 31 apostolic rule, the 33 apostolic canon, and many. The first canon of Saint Timotheus, and many rules says that if a priest or a bishop is preaching heretics, teachings, then you have to break the communion with them and not to participate in the prayers. Also, Saint Athanasius the Great, that we are celebrating in 18th of January, he says that it's better for me when the eyes of the church is the bishops and the priests, are going blurred. Yeah, blurred. They go blurred. It's better not to go with them, not to pray with them, because if you pray with them, you will be put in a place with Judas, with Anna and Caiaphas, that they crucified Jesus. And it's better to go alone in your houses or with other brothers to pray and to wait to find a priest that is Orthodox and he believes the same things with you. Of course, it's difficult. Yes, these things, because for many years, these canons and these rules of our Orthodoxy went aside, because many people came and they said that you don't have to stop the commemoration, you don't have to break communion with the ecumenists or with the heretics. You just have to shout, not to agree with them, and you can pray with them, you can participate in the holy liturgies, and you are okay. You are covered by God, you know. But this is something that no one of our saints done. All the saints was breaking communion. We can't pray with someone that he's not Orthodox, that he's heretic. We can't pray with the enemies of Jesus. You know, no one of our saints prayed with them. They was breaking the communion. That's why they was persecuted. That's why they was killed by them. And that's why it was in exile. Always, because they was breaking the communion. And we have so many examples. We have the example of Saint Maximus of the confession, that they were saying to them, why you don't communicate with us? Why you are not in communion with us? Come in communion with us, you know. And he was saying what you are believing. And when the bishop says that we believe what the emperor believes, he said, I will never have communion with you because you believe heretics. And when the bishops, when they went to see him, they said to him, but we believe what you believe. You know, we are Orthodox. We just have communion with the emperor. And he said, this is enough for me. If you have communion with him, means that you believe the same things with him. It doesn't matter what you have in your mind. Because he said, St. Maximus says that Jesus Christ said, who is confess me in front of people, not behind the curtains. The confess that we have to do is not in our mind, it's not in our soul. Of course, must be in our soul, in our heart, but we have to confess. What does confess mean? Say it, public. not say to the ear, no, I believe in Jesus Christ. This is not confession. This is denying Christ. If you don't confess public, it means that you deny Christ. Very simple things. So, what happens? All the Holy Fathers was in exile, was persecuted. Why? Because they was confessing their faith and they was stuck with Jesus Christ. This is what we have to do. It's difficult because we will lose the holy liturgies. We will lose in the society the contact with other people. We will social contacts, and this I don't want to say in English because I also know bad words in English. Yeah, I don't use it. No, I will not. No. And we have to make our confession. We have to go with Jesus Christ. We have to choose with who we are going to be, with Jesus Christ or with the Word. We have to choose. I choose Jesus Christ. I don't care what they say for me. They said many bad things for us. They keep saying bad things, and who cares? They still blame Jesus Christ for so many things, that he was demonized, that still today they say that he was in prelest, as you say in Russian, that he was someone, that he was crazy, he was a lunatic, he was married with Mary Magdalene, and all these things, still today. So, if our leader is being persecuted and sycophantia,
Slander.
Was slandered by people, we are not going to be slandered by people. We have to keep going, and we have to go behind him. And if you follow Jesus Christ, you will have to go through what he went through. And this is a blessing for us. Even if it happened something bad in our life because of Jesus Christ, this is the greatest blessing that we can take in our lives. Because it's very easy to say, I believe in Christ. But when you are suffering for Jesus Christ, this is worth it. And this is what we want. We want to suffer for Jesus Christ. Because this is the martyrium, this is the cross that we have to carry. Because our gospel, our evangelium, the New Testament, is not about love and about hugs and about drinking and eating. No, it's about martyrium, to become martyrs, to take our cross, to hold our cross, and to follow Jesus Christ every day. Not for some days, then we go for vacation, and then we take again the cross, and then we have to take some vacation for the summer. No, the Christian have no vacations in the spiritual life. The spiritual life is there 24 hours per day. You can, if you relax a little bit, devil will beat you, and maybe will beat you deadly. So we have to be very careful about these things. We can't play with our salvation. We can't take it under consideration so easily that, okay, so what? I have to rest a little bit. No, we will have time to rest. When they will bury us, we will rest forever in peace, and we will become soil. We have an expression in Greek that we say if we are tired, we say I became a soil. I became, and we use it that we will become soil because we will become anyway. So that's why we are fighting. That's why we broke the communion with the heretics, because we don't have the same faith. And if you don't have the same faith, you can't pray with them. You can't pray with them. Just very simple. And this is the action of the Holy Fathers, and this is the act of the Church. It's difficult. It's not difficult. It's in our mind because we are not spiritual people. If we consider our salvation, and if we want to be saved, and if we are thinking about the death that is coming, who is going to help us? In this time, that it will be the most horrible time in our life, that the body will separate it by the soul, and the soul will go to the Creator, to our Creator, Jesus Christ, and we will be face to face with Him. what we are going to say to him. What? Then we are not going to be afraid. Now we are okay. Then what is going to happen? This is what we have to think about. And if we are thinking this moment, that we have to live for this moment. Because when we die, then the real life is coming. Then we start the real life. This life is nothing. We are passing from this earth. That's why also the patriarch Abraham, he didn't make a house. He didn't build a house. He was living in a tent. He was very rich. He could have many houses, but he chose to have a tent, so this tent will remind him how temporary he is, and that he is going away, and that he has to be prepared to be clean in his heart, in his soul, in his body, from sins and from unfaithful things, to be ready to meet his Creator. And what he will say in this judgment day, that everybody will face Jesus, to be our confession to be welcome from Jesus Christ. This is the most important. If we think this, if we are thinking these things, everything is easy. And even if people will blame us that, you become heretics, you become in heresies, what you are now? You are a Muslim, you are out of the church. We are hearing so many things, but none of these are true, you know. These are lies. The thing is that we have to be okay with Jesus Christ. If we are okay and settled down with Jesus Christ, we don't care about the people, because people will never be happy with us, will never be satisfied. Whatever we do with people, everywhere, they will never be satisfied. And maybe you see this in your lives. Maybe you do 100 things, good things to the people. And if you do something and a mistake, he will blame you for this mistake, not for the 100 things that you've done, good things. So, this is the ecumenism. Is the mobile that bring Antichrist in this world, and we have to avoid this. How will we avoid this? We break the communion. And what we are going to do? We will pray with the brothers and with the sisters that they are out of the ecumenism. We will find priests that they are out of the ecumenism, but there are few. We know that there are few. This is prophesied, you know. But where we are going to find? You are in this area, in this country, Australia. You are so far away from your country, from the base of the Orthodoxy, we can say. And where are going to find a priest? We have a priest. You know, if you believe, God will send you what you need. Maybe you will not have it every day, but we don't care. We don't need every day. We need every day to be with Jesus Christ. Saint Kosmas, a very great saint, a Greek saint, that he lived in 18th century, and he became a martyr because he was spreading the word of Jesus when Greece was under the Turkish invaders. He was saying that there will come times that you will not find a priest. You will make miles, you will travel miles, a lot of miles, to find one person, one priest, to be able to take the Holy Communion, to make the confession and all these things. And he didn't mean that we are not going to find priests, that they will disappear, they will vanish. But we will not find good priests, Orthodox priests. This is the meaning of this prophecy that Kosmas done. So this is the reality, and we are living now. We experience this, you know. And what we have to do? Okay, maybe we go against all the world, all the people, but we have to have Jesus Christ, and also Jesus Christ went against everybody. That's why they were crucified him. And what the saints done? How they was living their lives? According to the material world or the spirituality? That's why they was persecuted. This is our Lord. There is no other Lord. We have to choose Jesus or devil. There's no other thing. And also Jesus Christ says this in the gospel. You can't be with two masters. You will be or with one or with another. or you will love the one and you will hate the other, or you will be with this one and you will hate the other one. You can't work for two masters. So this is all about. And I made it very concentrated and very soon. So I will give you now the word so you can ask and you can, because I know it's many questions. Yeah.
Yeah, one question.
Not a lot.
Boris.
I'll start. I've read a lot about the Jesus prayer,
Yes.
and to be honest with you, I try to practice it very often, especially if my mind is starting to wander.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll say it and I'll do it repetitively, but I've read in some of the old elders' writings of Optina and one of Greece, that you need to be led by an experienced person in the Jesus prayer, to be repeating it constantly, not to try to put it in your heart and do the prayer of the prayer of the heart without an elder's or a priest's, monk's guidance. Is that correct? Or do we take on the Jesus prayer, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner? Do we take that on as a repetitive prayer every time we're in trouble? Because like I've read, sometimes you need guidance for it to be a repetitive prayer and become a prayer of the heart, because some of us are not able to bring it to a prayer.
Okay, this is a very big and very important chapter of our life, so I will be very specific about this, because the Jesus Christ prayer, or we call it Noera Prosephi, okay, the heart prayer, okay, it's something that is not a technique. It's not like the Buddhists or the Taoists. They go there and they teach you a technique and you can do. This is not a technique, The Holy Fathers, some of the Holy Fathers, especially in Philokalia, they say some things that you will keep your mind, to be able to help you to keep the mind concentrate in the words of Jesus, of the prayer. But it's not working like this.
Not for me.
Not for no one. No. So, what's going on with this prayer now? We can't separate the prayer from the life. The way of life is praying. For example, praying, I will reach to the prayer of the heart of Jesus Christ. But before this, many Holy Fathers, and also Kallistos Exanthopoulos in Philokalia says that, and also Saint Nicodemus Agioritis says that if the mind goes to the heart and the heart is not clean, then we have prelests, then we have in Celari, we have in Romania, we have planets, πώς είναι στα αγγλικά? Deceit. We have deceptions, because we have to clean first our heart, and then the mind must go in a heart that is clean. But how you clean the heart? In the 50th Psalm of David, we say, «Καρδίαν καθαράν κτίσον εμεί ο Θεός και πνεύμα ευθές εγγένωσαν της εγκάτης μου». Clean heart built inside me, my God, okay? And straight spirit.
Create me a clean heart, O God.
Yeah.
That phrase there.
Yes, okay. So, what does it mean? We have to fight in our personal life, in our daily life, first of all, to accomplish the orders of Jesus Christ. It's not that I take the Koboschini and I will say, Kyrie Σου Χριστέ eleison, Kyrie Σου Χριστέ eleison every day, and in a magic way I will become sent, or I will put these praying inside my heart. No, it's not working like this. We have to start, it's like you have to go to the elementary first, and then you have to go to gymnasium, and then to lyceum, and then you have to go to the university, and then you have to go to do your diplomas, and all these things to become a professor. And what does it mean? You have to begin from the basic thing. What you are doing with your life? You say the prayer, but you hate your neighbor? You have first to put out the hate. You have to be kind. You have to be sensitive. You see someone and he's struggling with his life, and you don't care, and you want to pray. How you are going to pray? What Jesus Christ is going to give you? You know? The one who have mercy, they will receive mercy. Huh? This is what Jesus Christ says. So, what do you have to do? You have to go according to the gospel. This is the first step. And also to pray. And also to try to, when you pray, to keep your mind to the words of the prayer. That's something very difficult. Yeah. And you practice in every day, daily. Of course, according to the day, you have to say the Jesus Christ pray, even if you say it with the words, because this is the first step. You have to say every day, all time, Jesus Christ, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy upon me, even if you don't understand what you're saying. So, it will be sinithia, will be
a habit.
a habit. Yeah, it doesn't matter. In the beginning, it's okay. It doesn't matter if you don't understand what you say, but it have to be a habit. We see that if you sing a song every day for 2, 3, 4 days, then it's coming automatically to you, you know. The same is going to happen with the prayer. But this is the first stages, the very beginning, the very first stages. According to this, you have also to work with your life, about the sins, about your passions, about your weaknesses that you have, the compassion that you have towards other people, to go away from heresies, and to work spiritually. Working there and up-level yourself, the prayer is going to be up-leveled. And you will start to understand more about praying. And as much as you understand about the comprehensive that you have about love about people, and about compassion, about charity, and about all these things, will help you to be more concentrated in Jesus Christ. And God, when you clean your heart, as you clean your heart, will give you more grace, because everything has to do with grace. Maybe I can say the Jesus pray every day, all hour, but if Jesus is not coming to me to put these prayers inside my heart, nobody can do it. Jesus Christ is working in this. They are not techniques. The technique is that you have to clean your heart. You have to become a good Christian, to do the rules, to obey to the rules of Jesus Christ, to obey to his canons, and then these things go parallel. You can't say, okay, I don't care what I can hate people, I can do whatever I want, but I will say the prayer, Jesus pray, and I will be saved. No, this is a prelest. This is deception. It's a deception. Okay?
So it's sort of like a way of life.
It's a way of life, of course. And the way of life is telling me if you have prayer in your life. For example, the most simple thing, to give a smile to someone. Okay, it's not expensive. It's not cost you something. But even this smile that you give to the other person, maybe you will put out weight from this. You know, maybe he will be able to say something to you that he will be released. And where is these things? We lost these things. You know. We speak about love, but also we speak about dogma. We don't leave dogma aside like the ecumenists do, and they speak about love, and we have to love everybody. Yeah, of course, we have to love everybody, but we have to say the truth to everybody, because the truth is the most important thing. And Jesus Christ says, I am the truth. He said it. And if we don't go in this direction, truth, then we lose everything. Because also, devil is loving his disciple. But why? Because he's taking strength, and because they worship him. You know, this is not a real love. The real love goes with truth. So, if you want to succeed pray, you have to go parallel with this. You have to walk in the gospel, you have to read the Holy Fathers, you have to follow the way of their life, to clean yourself, to gain compassion, to gain inside your heart simplicity, not to think dirty, to try to see everything as we have to see, not to see in a dirty way people and with money and all these things, and then the prayer will start to grow on you, in you, and then you will understand the procedure. Because yes, we have to say the Jesus prayer all the time, but the rain, it will come. We have to implant the seed, but the rain will come from God, you know. But if we want the rain to come, we have to do what we have to do, you know, to go according to the gospel. This is the prayer life. Okay? And this is a lifetime working.
That's what I'm starting to understand.
Yes. It's not coming now.
No.
You know? And maybe the Holy Father says that maybe Jesus will give you in time, he will give you prayer for one night. This prayer will be enough to cover you for 2 years. It's like when it's raining, you know, and this rain is enough for 6 months. Don't wait, pray. We don't have to wait to see angels and to see God. And these are prelests. These are deceptions. What we have to do is to do what we have to do, and if God wants to give us something, welcome. If don't, welcome again. You know, we don't have to go, you know, give me. I want to see angels. I want to see. No, we don't want to see nothing. We just want to be with Jesus. We just want to be stable in our lives, in our prayer, and in our spiritual course. This is the most important. That's why Jesus Christ says, through the patient you will earn your lives, your souls.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Another thing, if I may, I'll give you an example.
You will speak louder because they are complaining.
Sorry. For an example, if I am doing my morning prayers take me roughly 25 minutes. But sometimes my mind is already somewhere else, at work or anyway.
I know.
It's not concentrating.
Sometimes, because my mind is always.
I'll go through 3 or 4 pages and I can't remember how I got there.
Yeah.
Is it better for me to stop and start again when my brain is good?
No.
Keep going.
No. You have to go through the prayer. When the mind is going away, you put it back. Go away, you put it back. And you are struggling with this.
I struggle with it sometimes. I go through 2 or 3 pages sometimes and I don't remember how I got there. I'll go back.
I don't know what you do, Boris, but I struggled for 26 years, 27 years, and I didn't manage to do it even once. I don't know what you do. And we are not praying 25 minutes, the monks. Our morning prayers with our canon is more than 5-6 hours, you know. And it's supposed that we are trained to do this, but we are not. It's a struggle. We have every day to struggle in this and to be. And what the Holy Father says that if you struggle in the right way, not like I do, and when the mind is going away, you put it back. The mind is going away, you put it back. Then you train your mind to be stable there. But it's very hard. It's become very tired. It's making very tired. This is very difficult if you try this, because the devil is going to attack you very hard and it will be Sabbaths, you know, Sabbaths. And if you experience this, you will understand what I mean. But you have to remain there. You have to insist. Patient. We have to need patience there. This is the oxygen of our life. We say before the doxology in Orthodox, we say we go Enos. It's the μετά τους κανόνες, εξάψαμε ο κανόνες και έχουμε τους ένους και δοξολογία. It's worship and not giving
praises.
Yeah? And we say we must pray praise God in every single breath that we take. Glory God in every breath. There is a song that he says, every breath you take. Huh? Okay. So we have to use every breath that we take, okay, for Jesus, not for people. Every breath we take for Jesus. If you don't do it, then you are lost. And it's not something that is extreme. This is the reality. Because devil is always there, it's fighting you. We have every breath we take to dedicate it to the worship of Christ. Then your life have a meaning. Otherwise, your life is meaningless.
There's a lot of distractions, Father.
You tell me. You tell me. A lot of distractions. And distractions and constructions.
Yes.
Also from devil, you know. But we have to fight it. This is our fight. It's not going to be long. We die soon. How many years we are going to live? 70, 80, 90, 100, 200? No. You know, our life is short. But the paradise never ends. The same with hell. So we have to go to paradise. This is our purpose. This is our goal, our target. You know, must not. And we have. That's why we are doing this. But that's why we are in Australia. We didn't came here for vacations. We didn't left whatever. Also, Father Petrus, he left his family, his people there, and we came here not for vacation. We came here to help each other, to find the spirituality, to find our ways, and to help each other. Because this is the way that we are helping each other, and this is the way that we have always to be with Jesus Christ and to work with this. What else? What else we are going to do? You know, for Christians there are no vacations. For Christian is there. You have to be 24 hours per day to work and to fight with yourself, with this material world, and with the devil. If you don't do it, you are losing. We are losing ground. The Holy Father says that if you don't go forward, you go backward. Backwards?
Yes.
Yeah. And they say there is no stability. Either you walk forward or you go backward. You know? So it's better to go even a little bit forward than to go backwards. Because when you go back, it's very easy. And when you let yourself, then you can stop yourself. But the uphill is difficult. You know?
So when you're praying, Father, in your heart, you say to yourself, I want to pray a good prayer for you tonight or whatever. Help me to say it from my heart and to do it. Does Christ see that? Even though my mind is going elsewhere, but in my heart, I really want to pray a good prayer, but my mind is still...
Jesus sees this, but also he's working in another way. You know, it was a woman in Russia, in Moscow, and she was praying to Jesus. Jesus, come! I want to see you. Come to my house. I want to see you. Come to my house. And one day, Jesus Christ appeared to her dream, and said, "Okay, I will come tomorrow. Be prepared." You know, and the woman woke up and started to make food. Start to make like Tanya was making food and everything, and start to make preparations and cleaning the house. And in the morning, someone knocked on the door. It was a kid that he didn't have food to eat, and he said, "Miss, give me something. I'm starving." And go away. I'm expecting someone today, and I can't, but I'm hungry. And throw him away. In the noon, a lady came, and they said, "Listen, help me because my children are starving, and I have to feed them something. You have many foods. Give me something." No, I can't. Today I am waiting a very high level person. Yeah, VIP. Yeah. And in the night she was waiting, and then a beggar came and said, him, "Ma'am, please, I didn't sleep 2 days, I didn't eat for 3 days, give me something, I'm starving, I'm dead." No, I have prepared, this is prepared for someone else, not for you, not for God. And when she slept, because she was very disappointed, Jesus came again to her dream, and she said to him, "Why you said lies?" And Jesus said, "I said lies? I say lies, but you said that you come to me and you didn't appear." And Jesus said that I appeared 3 times, I came to you, but you didn't invite me, you didn't hospitable, And this is the way that many times we want to have pray. If you want to have pray, be with other people, not judgeable, not bad, and then Jesus is coming to your life. Maybe he's coming in a way that you are not going to be is not understandable. In what way I say? For example, if you experience a loving, caring time with a person, with a friend of yours, and you experience love with someone, then God is visiting you. If you experience something very nice in the liturgy or in the synaxa, in a gathering with people, the grace of God is visiting you. You don't have to see Him. We must start. This is the most important thing. We must start see Jesus Christ in the face of the people. If we are not doing this, don't expect Jesus Christ to come to you. If you don't see Jesus Christ in the face, if I don't see Jesus Christ in the face of Boris or in the face of everybody, then I failed. And this is what Jesus Christ said. These are the hidden meanings of the Holy Gospel. Says that how can you love God if you don't love your brother? We hear this and we hear this. It's very simple. It's not simple. It's very deep. It's very deep. It means that how can you see, how you want to see Jesus Christ and you experience the pray if you don't see your neighbor, if you don't see Jesus Christ. And how you will see Jesus Christ in your neighbor? It's easy? No, it's not easy. First of all, you have to be conscious that for this person, Jesus Christ was crucified, not for you only. And if you consider this as a truth, as a fact, it means that you are working in this. You are thinking about the crucifixion. You are thinking about the resurrection. You are thinking about the spiritual things. Your mind is not running about the material things. Okay, it will happen also, because we are human. We are not hermits. We are not skid people to live in the desert. Okay, we'll think about these things. But also when you think about these things, you must have a good purpose to feed your family, to help people. You do something that it will be useful for the other people and it will be useful for your life, for your Christianism. Otherwise, don't do it. It's loss of time. This is the spirituality that we're losing. Questions?
Well,
No, it's okay, you go.
I've got a list. I was just wondering if you could, to go off subject a little bit, just tell us a little bit about your story because we want to know more about who you are. Were you always Orthodox and how you became an elder?
Oh, it's a long story. It's a long story.
Being so curious about
And I will answer this question, but I usually don't speak about my life because it's not something important and something that it's okay. It's an ordinary life, but I was born in Crete, and I was always Orthodox, but I wasn't conscious. And in my first years, when I was a student, I was studying music, and I was searching about these things, you know. I wanted to see about the other religions and about what is, because I didn't have guiding from my family, and they didn't knew, you know, and I was trying to find myself and my road through seeking things, and I saw many things, and I read a lot of books. I read for example, I read the Bhagavad Gita, for example. It's the like we say, the gospel of the Hindus. I wanted to see what is this, what they say about these things, and of course, I was, I had inside me that Jesus Christ is the God, the only God, but I wanted to see also what they are speaking about this, because I wanted to see. I didn't want to be Christian because I born Christian. I wanted to be Christian because I chose it, and this is the truth. I didn't knew, but it was good because now I have the knowledge about all these things, about yoga, about Hinduism, about Buddhism. I read all these things and I have the information now, and I know I can speak with people now, you know. It was useful at the end. So when I start to go to I was studying in Athens. It was a great period because the searching was full of, and I start to search about, I wanted to find holy people, and then I went to the army, and it was also a great period of my life because it was for 1.5 years. It was a tough period, and when I went out, I started to seek because I have everything in my life. We had also, you know, anyway, but I was empty. I wanted to find the meaning of life, and I start to seek people that they are enlightened, saints, and then I understood that I start to read about books, Saint Paisios, these books. I start with these books, and then I start to search for a spiritual guide, a confessor, and then I found my spiritual father, that he was near me, near my house. It was 4 kilometers from there. It was a monastery that I didn't knew there, that it was exist. I saw it many times because I was playing football in a team, and this monastery was 400 meters from this stadium. And I was always see this monastery, but I thought that, I thought that it was abandoned. And in 1997, I found this person, this priest, and I went there, and then it was this theme with the identities, with the 666. And I heard him to say that we are not going to take these identities, and I said, okay, this is the one. He's a partisan. He's my guy, you know, my man. And because we were searching about this, and all the priests were saying to me, we will see, and when the time comes, and I give me an answer, you know. I want an answer now. When the time is coming, if this is the time now, what are we going to do? And this person was very straight. So after 1 year, I went to the monastery. It was difficult. It was like speeding lessons, you know, because I didn't have thoughts to become a monk. Never. I was a very. I was a person of.
Normal.
Normal, yes, okay. Not normal, but you can say this. You know? Yes. And in 1 year, it came to me like this, you know. And then I went to the Great Lavra, the first monastery in Agionorus, and I became a monk in 1999.
Did you choose Lavra? Did you choose a monastery of Lavra, or you have to go?
No, my spiritual father was from there.
Ah, so
he belongs there, okay. And that's why I went there immediately, straight, you know.
Yeah.
And in 2010, after 12 years that I was in the monastery, in 2010 I was elected to be eldest. And it was a miracle, because I was ήμουν αντιδραστικός. I was a rebel,
It was
always
the
a
rebel.
I was always a rebel, and I wasn't, going with their minds, and
You had your own mind. You did what you wanted to do.
I did what the Holy Fathers
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do, and I didn't agree with
Yeah.
their, but I didn't have the power to do it. I just had to compromise because I was also a young person and a young monk, so I didn't have the strength, I didn't have the knowledge. I was learning. I was reading every day. I was reading a lot of books. We wasn't there just to sleep and to eat, as they say. We was working hard. We was 8-9 hours per day in praying, and we was reading books, speaking with people. We was doing a lot of work, And when they elected me to be eldest, it was a miracle for everybody. I didn't pay attention because for me it was like just another thing, another job that I had to do there. But when I became in this position, it was very up level. How can I say? And I had the authority. Then I understand. I saw all these games that they are playing there. And the game of the power, that if you have power, you can rule. But we didn't went there to rule people and to have power. We went there to find Jesus, because this is against the spirituality that we have to have. So I start to be contradicted them all the time, And in 2014, I start my fight, actually alone. Because I make an epistle to a newspaper, Orthodox people they call it, and I said about the abbots and about the monks, all the Agenors, that they are not these people that they betrayed, Agenors, these people, and I start to fight against everybody, and everybody was on me, and said you have to ask apologize, and I said no, I will never ask apologize. Bartholomeus have to ask apologize, and you must be ashamed that you are with him, and you don't say that what you are saying is a blasphemy to our Lord Jesus Christ, and you not tolerate, you agree with him. You have to say to Bartholomeus to ask for apologize or to kick him out of the church. What is these things? What do you need? Money and glory, And I was sick about this. I was fed up about that. And so many things that I don't say because also it's personal things, and I don't want to judge personalities, And from this start. And in 2016, after 3 years that we are fighting, of course the fighting starts 2006, that we make an epistle with other priests and with other monks against the movement of Ecumenism, against Bartholomeus that he's doing, and we started then actually. But when I had the authority, the power, I had also the voice, and everybody can pay attention to me. I wasn't a simple monk, and that's why we proceed in this. Otherwise, who cares about a monk? A simple monk says, who cares about this, So I try to use my authority to confess God and to do this, what we have to do. This is very,
Condensed. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you more about the canons, Father. So, being in church, and we don't know much about the canons, and I think the last time we spoke, you were going to be translating it in English, because it's been translated in Greek, just to have a bit more of an understanding. And for the sake of some my boys here that don't know much about the canons, and neither do we, can you explain why the canons are so important in the church? And also, how does that affect if your priest or the priest or whoever's doing the service and breaks the canons? How does that affect the parishioners?
In your family, you don't have rules, canons?
Yes, we do.
If you break the canons in your family, what's happening?
They get punished.
Yes.
exactly. This is the same things happening to church. The church is an organism, an alive organism, that we have Jesus Christ, that He's the leader, and we are following. So we have to go with His rules. If we don't follow His rules, we don't love Him. He says that whoever is fulfill my orders, this is the one who loves me. Huh? Okay. So these are the rules. But Jesus Christ didn't say everything. Of course, we have the Protestants now, the heretics. Why they are heretics? Because they say we listen only what Jesus Christ said. We don't admit, we don't take under consideration the sense, the canons. These are worthless, you know. Whatever Jesus Christ said, nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. This is not right, because we have the Pentecost. Why the Holy Spirit came to the apostles? To enlighten them, to enlighten us, to spread the teaching. Because Jesus Christ said that you go and spread everywhere and baptize people and bring them to me. You know, that's why the building of the church, the spiritual building of the church, must have some rules. If you don't follow these rules, everything have rules. If you go to a company to work, you can't go with your rules. You have to go with the rules of the company. If you are in the place, in the house, you have to go with the rules of the house, of the family. You know, I make it simple.
Yes.
If you don't go according to the rules, why? Because these rules, they are not man-made rules. They gave, the Holy Spirit gave us these rules. So, according to these rules, we will rule the church. Otherwise, there's no church.
So there's no deviation at all from these rules. They have to be the way they are.
Of course. If we change it, it's like that we say that what Holy Spirit gave us is not is temporary. You know that Holy Spirit gave us things for a specific period, not for everything. But Jesus Christ is the same now, for in the past, in the future, everywhere, always. It's not changing. The gospel is διαχρονικό, πώς είναι στα αγγλικά?
It's not negotiable.
It's negotiable and it's for all the times.
Yeah.
It's not for one period only. It's eternal. It's eternal.
Okay.
The gospel is eternal, you know. And also the rules that Holy Spirit gave us, these rules are eternal. These rules, so we can't diminish them. We can cancel them, or we can even upgrade them. It's not a program of computer, you know, to upgrade, to make these things. You know, we have with a lot of respect to respect them and to go according to the rules, all the rules. You know, maybe someone can say that, but there are many. Okay, Jesus Christ give us something that we can do. He's a liar when he says that you have to do whatever I taught, and whatever they will teach you, the apostles. He was lying that he gave something that we can do, we can accomplish. This means that Jesus Christ is a liar. No, he's not a liar. Whatever he said, we can do it. It's just the point is that if we want to do these things, we have to be always there. You can't put yourself to think other things and to have all the. You have to go. You have your mind to be there all the time. You see, if that's why the devil is trying to give you the materialism. You have to work. You have to do this and to do that. And where is your spiritual life? And when someone speaks and says that, okay, and how I'm going to live? I have to take food, I have to feed my family. Jesus Christ says in the gospel, ask for the kingdom of heaven and all these things will be added to you. You know, he's not lying. He is the only one who is not lying. Everybody were lying, but not he. You know?
Now, the book of canons,
yes, Italian.
I haven't not got one in my house. I should get one.
Yes, you have to.
Is there a specific book, or can maybe a heretic that gets a hold of it can put a
No.
book out that's...
It's a specific book called Pidalion. Pidalion is the steer wheel
Right.
in Greek. Pidalion is the old name of the steer wheel of the ships. Pidalion.
Yeah.
Okay, is the way that Pidalion.
But we must get it in the English language
Of course,
to understand it.
of course.
So-
Only Russian is also.
Stacey can probably find it, yes.
Yeah, you can find it in English.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, the canons are really complex, they're very hard to understand.
Απλώς τα παιδιά δεν ξέρουν ρωσικά.
The canons are really hard to deviate with, they're really hard to understand, there's a lot of...
Yes, it's difficult. This is what we said yesterday in our conference about the canons.
Yeah.
But you know, how can I say this? When you proceed in the spirituality and you understand more about the canons and more about the gospel, then you start to also understand about the canons of the Holy Fathers. You know, it's something that you can't go straight to the canons. You have to go through other books to read, to see how the saints was going on and the martyrs, all these things, and then to go to the canons. It's something that is not in the beginning, you know.
I'm sure Father's explain a lot of that.
Yeah.
One thing I saw in the Russian Orthodox Church, for us to go to communion, the Holy Mysteries,
Yes.
to receive them, we must make our confession.
Yes.
And only then can we go to receive the Holy Mysteries, the Eucharist.
Yes.
I've seen in other churches, in a Greek church, in a Macedonian church, the whole congregation goes up. They
Yes.
say you don't have to take confession to take
Yes.
the Holy Mysteries.
Yes.
We tell our people they confess 3-4 times a year, but the Holy Mysteries you can take without confessing your sins.
Yes.
Is that correct?
No, of course not.
You must confess,
Of course.
then take it.
Of course. Why we have?
Those ones we saw, that's not correct.
We were actually very confused
Because we were
because
confused when we went in there and looked,
Yeah.
you know.
So-
We were invited in to have a look.
If you are dirty, you are going to wear your clean clothes without making bath. You know?
That's what we believe in, to cleanse yourself,
Yes.
your soul, cleanse your soul with a confession,
With the repentance.
because that's correct. Because you must walk up to the holy mysteries with humbleness, clean.
Yes.
But when we saw this in a few churches here where we've gone for a reason or two, and I told Tanya, I go, this doesn't look right to me.
we weren't
But I've
sure.
seen it 3 times already.
And
It's
now,
still Orthodox and we weren't sure, so there were the Orthodox Church, but we thought, is that maybe...
There was a Greek Orthodox church. That was part of the territory when we went to Ballarat for the first day.
yes.
Then there was the Macedonian church in Epping.
That's right.
We dropped in there because we were doing something up there. We dropped in there.
There's
And
only one Macedonia, that's in Greece. The other Macedonia is a false Macedonia.
yeah, and that's
Exactly.
what I've been told. Because when I started asking people questions, they've told me, no, you've got to clean yourself first through repentance. Exactly what you said.
These are basic things for the Christian, you know.
And I just wanted to ask you what you thought of it, because to me it was...
What is I will not say to you what I thought and what my opinion. I told you before, it's not my opinion. I don't say my opinions. I don't say my thoughts. Whatever we say is what the Orthodox Church says, what the Holy Father says, not our opinions. If I say my opinions, we have a problem.
Speaking of confession
Yes.
and communion, before we have confession, do we need to fast?
Fasting before confession, no. You don't have to fast for confession, you know. But your spiritual father will tell you how to fast. Of course, the days that we have to fast and what else more or less to do, because not everybody is the same, have the same body, the same health and all these things, but fasting is something very important, not for a confession. Confession, you have to do it without fasting. You don't need fast. Yeah.
Well, at this moment, we don't have proper father who can support us in that respect. Never ever talk to people, never explain them like you do now. And now Father Theophilus, where I find a Greek father, I find him as the first one of all this time. He is like you, explains, tell me, then I know what I have to do.
Yeah.
Even me, living in Jerusalem and obey all the things from Patriarch Irenaeus, because I've been with Patriarch Irenaeus for 15 years. And I knew, but when I come here and a bishop, which one is I expected more, to understand, but I never received support.
Yeah.
So what can I do? How can I?
This is the difficulties.
That's it.
Yeah, that's why we are doing this fight, because, okay, we are not bishops and we are not patriarchs, but we will have to do what we have to do, and
The Patriarch Irenaeus, he was a
good one.
holy father.
Mm.
He was a holy father.
That's why we came here with Father Petros,
But,
to make confessions,
they killed
yes,
him anyway.
to make holy liturgies, to make baptisms,
Mm.
baptize people, because people are fed up with these things. They don't want to, they break the communion with heretics. We don't want anymore to be with them, because we can't be with them, we can't be with the enemies of God, because John Chrysostom says, Saint John Chrysostom, Saint Zlataust, yeah, says that the enemies of God is not only the heretics, but also the people who are with them are enemies of God.
What do you think about Patriarch of Jerusalem now, the Theophilus? What do you think about him?
Listen, Theophilus is an ecumenist also. He's an ecumenist, unfortunately. And he is making praise with papists.
Quite
And,
unfortunate.
yes, unfortunately. He
Right?
compromised. He compromised his faith, unfortunately.
How's that?
First of all, he signed all the documents of the Pseudo-Synod of Crete.
I don't know what that is.
In 2016,
Yeah.
there is a synod, false synod, in Crete, in Greece, in Kolimbari, that they established the ecumenism as the official teaching of the Orthodox Church. You don't know about this? You don't know about
I
this?
heard about it. I heard some, but it must be correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard
And
it was,
it was a synod that not everybody participates. Only 10 churches of the 14, the Patriarch of Russian, Georgians, Bulgarians, and Antiochians, they didn't participate. But not because they are Orthodox and they care about Orthodoxy, for other reasons, for political reasons, because they're separated also there. They are the Western and the East. And the Patriarch Bartholomew is an agent of CIA, so they have also contradiction about these things, And these take part, this synod in Crete, and whatever they vote and whatever they sign, the decisions are horrible. They recognize, for example, that the heresies are part of the Church of Jesus Christ. They are churches. They name the heresies churches. When we say I believe in one God, Holy Might, and all this, we say in one Holy Apostolic Catholic Church. Not many. There are not many churches, but this synod recognized all the heresies that there exist, papism, Protestants, and all this, that they are church like the Orthodox. For example, one of what they decide. We made many conferences about this subject, about the Synod of Crete, but maybe we have to make another one in English, because every day I see that people are ignorant. They don't know. I believe that most of the people knows about these things, but they don't. Especially
They've
out
heard
of
about
Greece.
it, but they don't want
They don't know. And
to
also,
take it in.
Vasily, they don't. The bishops and the priests, they don't inform people.
They've been
Nothing.
told to say what Macario or Bartholomew is saying to them.
I
Yeah.
think maybe
Money talks. That's what the
Ah.
well, that's what the modern church
Of
is
coure.
now. It's business.
Yes.
I think maybe they think that it doesn't apply to them. It doesn't affect them going to church.
Because they're bishops and priests that go to church every day, they think it doesn't apply to
They
them.
don't care.
Yeah.
The bishops and the priests, they just care to have their jobs. They see as a job to make
That's
money,
it, that's it.
not to guide people to the salvation. They don't
So
care about
if
this.
the priests do not guide the parish, people like us will do anything about it. We only found out this by mistake when we saw you on YouTube, and you came the first time we came and saw you. If we didn't see you on YouTube, we wouldn't know about it. We told our priest, and he laughed at us. You know?
Yeah.
Papa, look, he just laughed at us, you know?
Yeah. So, something else?
And it's hard to work out if your own priest or bishop that you've been with for a while, it's hard to know if they are on the right path themselves.
Yes. I know.
That's something I struggle with. Maybe because I don't know the canons properly,
There's no water, I need water.
to work out
Yeah.
That's the priest.
if he's on the right path.
Yeah.
What do you suggest with that? I must learn the canons.
Okay, yeah, I will tell you.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same. How as new lay people do we get to a position where we can discern our own bishop if he's right or wrong?
Yeah, this needs to have knowledge about this. If you don't have knowledge, it's very difficult. Also, what we say to you, you have to test it. You have to see if these things are right or wrong, because you must not take for granted nothing. You know, we are living in a period that the darkness is everywhere, and you are not. It's very hard to find the truth, as the Holy Fathers said it to us. You know, it's not hard to the truth, but hard to find the truth because of this corruption of the church inside the church. Now, if you know about the ecumenism, and if you know what Bartholomew says and Macarius and what they preaching, then you can understand who is ecumenist or who is heretic and all these things. But it's very important also to see with who you have communion. For example, maybe someone, a priest or a bishop, can say Orthodox things, you know. But if you have communion with Bartholomeus, you can go there, because it's the same thing. You can say that I am Orthodox, but in reality, if you have communion with ecumenists, then you are ecumenist. You are in the heresies of the ecumenism. If you want to go out of the heresies of the ecumenism, you have to break the communion with everybody that have that his ecumenism in action, you know. Otherwise, you will be inside the heresies. Yeah, meaning that you will find who is Orthodox according to the commemoration. If I go, for example, to a church of Greek Australian church and they commemorate Macarius, I can't go there because Macarius is with Bartholomeus. He signed the Synod of Church of Kolimbari, of Crete, the pseudo synod, the false synod. So I can't go there because they are not Orthodox. According to who they commemorate, I will go there. You know, otherwise.
We've been with all these splits since 2007, when the Russian Orthodox Church abroad moved in with the Moscow Patriarchate, we did not agree, we left.
Yes.
Then we found a priest, he was with Metropolitan Agaponian from Odessa. We thought that that would have been the right path. Then they again split with Archbishop Andrenik. And we're moving and my head is gone. How many times do we move? Where am I going? I'm confused. How many times do we need this? Maybe what you said about reading the canons is correct. That's a big uptake for a layman that at 58 has not even looked at them properly. And how do I make a quick decision on this?
Yes.
There's no such thing, mate.
Yeah. Listen, in the Russian church abroad, split in three.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the went with Kirill. One I don't remember where, but only one is keeping the way of Saint Philaret and Saint John Maximovich.
Yeah.
This is the most correct way. If you want to go, you have to go there. But also, you have to be very careful because, for example, now it's a big thing about this. I don't want to explain now because it will take a long time. From these three parts, you have to choose this one that is clear from ecumenism and clear from heresies. But also you have to be very careful because the priests that they go inside and the bishops, they don't have the same mind, the same thinking that they had, these people. And also we have a problem there because you know that in a region we can't have two bishops. This is a rule of the church, you know. And we go in other rules of the church that if there are two bishops in a region, in an area, this is a mistake. It's like we have two heads in an area. We don't have two heads in the Christianity, in church. In church we have one head, Jesus Christ. And in every region, every area, must be one Orthodox bishop, not many Orthodox bishops. Otherwise, if there are many, then we have schisms. Okay? This also happened with all calendarists, if you know. You go with all calendar because we are from Russia. But also there are some people that they are all calendarists, not and they make a schism. We speak about some old calendarists that they make their own bishoprics in Greece and they spread all over the world. This is a schism. So this is the problem also. It's a problem also with them. And now we are working on this because it's not that this part that they don't communicate with Kirill, the Russian church abroad, that they are heretics. They are not heretics because they believe Orthodox and they have an Orthodox way of thinking and also following the rules, you know. But the problem is that they made bishoprics and they went where there are other bishops. This is a mistake. It's another thing. For example, here in Australia, leader of the Orthodox Church is the Greek Orthodox Church, the Macarius. Macarius is a heretic, and we can't go in the churches because we will participate in his heresies. Okay, but we are not able to make our bishops and our priests because then we will split. We will make another church with our bishops, our priests, and maybe someone will say, yes, but these are heretics. Yeah, they didn't lose the grace, they didn't lose the priesthoodness because they're not Catholicized. Our work is to fight inside the church, to throw these people away, and to bring orthodoxy in the church, because now the Orthodox dogma is not there in our church. Our Orthodox Church, the orthodoxy is the dogma, not the church. Okay? If we lose the Orthodox dogma, then the Church of Christ becomes heretic. What we have to do, what the Holy Father has done, if, for example, I will make it very, very simple to you. If the Russia, okay, or Australia is conquered by Chinese, okay, what you are going to do? You are going to Africa to establish another Australia? No, you will stay to Australia, you will fight to throw away the invaders, okay, and to become again free people. The Australia is there, but it's invaded and is conquered by another nation, but it remains Australia. No? This is what we have to do. We have the Orthodoxy, we have the Orthodox Church. The Orthodox Church now is being conquered by the heretics. And what we have to do is not go away from the church, go away from the heretics, but remain inside the church and fight to throw away these people. What we are doing. We are not out of the church, we are inside the church. We don't commemorate them because we can't, but we are fighting. How? We are trying to awake people, like you, like everybody that we are speaking. So together, we will go and we will ask for them to go away. We want the synod. Maybe this will never happen. We don't care if it's never happened. We have to do this. If we want to remain members of the church, of the Christ church, we have to do these things. We have to go through this procedure. If we don't keep this procedure of the Holy Fathers, we will go to a schism, or we will go to another heresy. You know, the Holy Fathers, when the heresies was coming, they wasn't go out of the church to establish another church, to ordinate bishops and priests and to make a parallel to the church. Never. Who've done this? Nobody. They was fighting inside, they was fighting the heresies, they was point the heresies, they was theologically diminish the heresies with their words, and by this they was making a synod and they was cut aside the heretics. This is the point that we have to do. You know, this is not easy because we are few and we will be more and we will be less all the time. You know, because we are living in the Antichrist period. You know, but we have to do this procedure. If you don't do this, we are out of the church. I can't say something to you, and it's a difficult way, because it's very easy to go to establish a church, all calendarists, to the, you know, somewhere that they have bishops, they have priests. You go there, you do your confession, you do the Holy Communion, and you are, yeah, but where is the ecumenism? Where is the ecumenism? How you will fight the ecumenism? You don't fight the ecumenism by going out of the church. You can't take back the Australia by going somewhere else and establish another Australia in Greece, in Africa, in United States. No, here is Australia. You have to free Australia by your fight, not going somewhere else and establish another Australia. This is not fighting, you know. It's like they do in the Second World War, when the Germans went and conquered countries. We stayed there. We didn't go another place. We fight to gain again our country. Freedom, exactly. We have to freedom the church from the heretics. And not to go there and to find, no, we have to stay there to fight. How we fight, what we are doing, this is the fight. And when we are gathered, to go to the bishop and to say to him, or you will be Orthodox, or you go away. You want to be a papist, go to Rome to be ordinated cardinal, I don't know what. Not here. But we don't do it. Why we don't do it? Because we don't love Church of Christ. We don't love Jesus. We don't consider church is our houses. If they come here now and they say to you about your house and They want to take your house, you're fine. You give your life. Why? Because it's your house. What about my church? What about our church? It's not our church. Nobody cares about the church. Nobody cares about Jesus Christ. Nobody cares.
Apart from ecumenism, I believe the bishop that we've frequented, the Russian bishop, I don't believe that he's an ecumenist, because I've never seen that in him. And I've studied ecumenism a bit. I think I know that. Are there any other warning signs that we need to look for to make a person a heretic in our eyes before we read all the canons to clear ourselves up?
You have to investigate him.
What do you mean by that?
Questioning.
Question
Questioning.
Yes.
So what would be the appropriate questions then? Because
Well, is his teachings correct? Are they
Well,
against?
I don't think his teachings are wrong, from what I understand, but I'm only a fallible layman. So that's very hard for me.
I think what Father's also saying that sometimes the teachings may be orthodox, but it's the commemoration. If the commemoration is commemorating a heretic bishop or a bishop, it doesn't matter if the teachings are correct. If he's commemorating a heretic, then he's a heretic. Do you know what I mean? He might be saying the true teaching, but if he's commemorating a heretic bishop,
but this
then
is
he's a heretic.
Yeah, but they have to know about it.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of stories about him, but I need to know that for myself. You just can't listen to what everybody says too.
Of course, but you have
It's the
also
way people.
you have to study. You have to be catechized, and you have to know what you believe. If you don't know what you believe, how can you go to interrogate him?
Of course,
You can't.
of
You
course.
have to go.
So I have to prepare myself.
Yes. For example, if I want, I can go there and I ask him, and I can see, because I know, and I will make questions that he will not expect me to do these questions. But it's not me. It's you. It's about you.
Correct.
and it's for us to understand.
That's why you have to learn. You have to study. It's not something that is coming, it's,
A lot of the people in the lay people, they think they know.
yeah.
What do we know? We don't know nothing.
Yeah.
We are people to go to work, come home. Say the morning prayer, say the evening prayer, Sunday go to church. But you're dealing with people that have been in the church for a long time, and you just said before, your prayers were 5-6 hours long.
Yeah. Mornings out.
We never do that.
Yeah.
And for us, we can't listen to normal lay people putting someone down and saying he's no good. We need to listen to someone that's learned in this.
Yeah. And that's why you have to inform yourself. You have to learn, and this is something not easy.
No, it's not, because I don't really understand what I need to learn in order to be able to discern whether they are a heretic or whether they're not. And
I know.
do you know what I mean?
This is something difficult. This is, and of course, with the first time that we came here, you're not going to learn all these things with the first time, But it's a start. It's a start. That's why we are doing this now 8 years. We are doing this 8 years from 2016, 9 years now. We go to 9 years, and it's not going to be end, because every day there are new people, and they want to, and many times we repeat ourselves, but also it's good for other people to learn and to hear these things that they know, because we have to, it's not a speed fight, it's a marathon.
There's nothing wrong with repetition, it stays here.
Yeah, exactly.
But then also, Elder, I think back to the Bible as well, and when Jesus said, does he teach the right thing? Does he teach the right things? And the man said yes. He said, well, do as he teaches, don't do as he does.
Yes, this is according to the personal life,
Okay.
not to the dogmas.
Yeah.
Okay, When it comes to the life, we don't judge, because then we have a judgment, and this is a great sin. We don't judge his life. We don't care about his life. His life is personal things. I don't want to judge him. It's something personal. I am judging him, and I am obliged to judge him what he's teaching, not what he's doing in his life. If he's teaching, the teaching is according to the Holy Bible, according to the apostles and to the Holy tradition, it's okay. Okay, if he makes some sins and he has some problems in his personal life, it's not my problem. I have to worry about my life, not about his life. Who cares, you know? This is judgment. Not to judge what he's speaking, what he's preaching, but what he's doing is judging. Okay?
That's good.
Yeah.
After what she's doing, how she's doing, that's true.
Yeah.
Another question. With all of these different churches and I'm right, you're wrong, you know, that mentality that a lot of people have, is there, because I sit with the younger generation, because we're dwindling, we're very small numbers, and I want to have a conversation with a brother or a sister of a different denomination, Orthodoxy, but in heresy. Is there something definitive that I can go, this is why you're wrong, or this is why I'm right? Because throughout the history, both sides will say they're right. Where and what do we look for to say this is right, whereas this is wrong? Because God's truth, there is one truth. What is that truth?
Okay, we have to go back. We have to go to the apostles. Okay, we have the first synod of the apostles that make rules. We have the first ecumenical synod. We have saints. We have the second ecumenical synod, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. We have the eighth ecumenical synod of Great Photios, the ninth ecumenical synod of Saint Gregorios Palamas. This is the church, you know. We have 1054 that papists split, went away from the church. They make their own road, their own way of thinking, you know, and they anathematized by the Orthodox Church. But the Orthodoxy keep going. It's the teaching. You have to know the teaching of the church. And this is not something easy. And it's not who is wrong or right. I'm wrong, you are right, I'm right, you are wrong. You know, because we don't take personal. And we are not going to fight or to persuade someone. Jesus Christ didn't want to persuade someone. He's just preaching. You don't want to follow? Okay, you don't want? No problem. We are not going to fight about these things. You don't have to fight. You have just to follow. And what is the right teaching? The right teaching is what is coming from the apostles. We don't change something. The Protestants change everything. And these ecumenists now, they change everything. So it's a condition to know about the rules and know about the church and know about the history of the church and about the synods and what they said in these synods. But there are a lot of information. You have to you have to read, you have to go. Να ασχοληθείς, πώς είναι, να ασχοληθείς με αυτά. To study. Yeah, you have to leave other things you do and to focus in this. Otherwise, you will never know. And it's not something that is not important. It's very important because it's about your soul. And also, if you learn about these things and little by little reading and learning, then you will be able not only to help yourself, but also other people. Because the knowledge is not for yourself only. It's also to help your neighbor. And this is how you fulfill the order, love your neighbor as yourself. How you will do it, you know? Yeah.
When you say not to fight and argue, if my neighbour is blatantly wrong, to what degree do I go and grab my neighbour and go, look, or do I go, that's my neighbour, he can do his own thing?
Can you repeat?
Do I, if my neighbour's on the wrong path,
More English, not Australian.
if my neighbour's off on the wrong path, do I
Spiritual path.
spiritual path, yeah, on the wrong spiritual path, do I go, that's okay, or do I go and grab him and go, look, this is my path, and fight him to bring him on my path, or do I let him walk his own path?
Listen, you can't go there if you don't ask. You pray for him. We pray for him. If you see someone that he is not in the path, you pray for him. And if you are ready, because maybe sometimes if we don't have the knowledge, we do worse things. Because maybe you have you have good feelings and you have all the good intentions to help him, but you don't have the instruments, the knowledge, the skills, you know. So maybe you will mess it up. So the first thing that is pray. That's why we have to be. This is a great mistake that we do. We are not catechized. We don't know what we believe. You know, for example, when you go to an heretic, they are much more studied than they are studying about these things, and you know. And when you start to make a conversation, you don't know what to say sometimes. That is easy, but if you don't know, because we don't pay attention to this. We are working, we are doing things, but the most important thing to work with ourselves, with Jesus Christ, we leave it, and the years goes by, and we don't know what we believe. So we don't help ourselves, we don't help our neighbor. What we have to do, read, you are young, okay, read, pray, and God will give you also His grace. Also you have to do also the human, to learn and to read, because God is not going to come to you and put it in your head. We're not the apostles, okay? So we have to work on it. And when you're working, He will give you light. And pray for Him. And if you pray for Him, and if He sees your life, that you're a good person, that you help Him, you're gentle, polite, He will say, what's going on with these people? Why? He's doing something. He's working with himself. What he's working? What he's doing? What he's drinking? What he's eating, we say. We have to see, I have to see, I want to see why he's so nice, so kind. He's doing something. And this curiosity will lead him to, and he will ask you, what you are doing, why? He will come close to you. You don't have to go to him. They will come to you. But it needs work.
Father, do you know the Bishop Demetrius, he a Greek bishop? Do you ever heard Bishop Demetrius?
Where?
In Australia, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
No, thank God.
I don't know them, they don't want to know.
Because there's Greek churches, a lot of Greek churches, old calendar, they commemorate him. And for that reason, I'm asking you, did you ever heard?
No, I will try to search.
But I don't know where it's here.
He's all calendarist, you know this?
I don't know.
No.
In
But
Melbourne, did you say Melbourne?
well, no.
There's only two churches in Melbourne, one in Mentone and one in Hawthorne. And there's no...
No, that's, no. Yeah, that's right, those one. The Houghton one, that's one I heard,
His name is John.
Father Ioanni.
Ioanni?
Yeah, not the other.
Well, I went there once because this was a church holiday. I went there and I heard and that's the reason I asked, But, no. And Father, who do you commemorate? Patriarch Bartholomew?
No. We broke communion since 2016. We don't commemorate. That's why we are persecuted. Now we don't also me, also Father Petros, we don't commemorate. We are fulfill the 15 canon of the Holy Synod of First and Second Holy Synod of St. Photios, and we stop commemorating our bishops because they are ecumenists and they are preaching heretics. That's why we stop commemorating. We don't commemorate a bishop because if I belong, this is something very important. I am an Agioritis. I belong to Agionoros, and the Church of Agionoros, this place, it's spiritually and διοικητικά, πώς είναι. The administration, the administration, also the spiritual administration of this place is belong to Constantinople. So I belong to the Church of Constantinople. I'm a part of this church. No, I'm not part of the Church of Greece or Crete or Russia. I am member of the Church of Constantinople. Okay, but my bishop is Bartholomeus. My bishop. Yeah, but I don't commemorate him. I don't have. I separate. I took a divorce with him. And
my grandson Alex, he been to Mount Aragos.
Yeah. Well.
This one, he went.
Probably. I feel the one Russian monastery.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We stayed there for 1 month.
Only there.
We did day trips quickly to 3 others.
Yeah.
And then that was that. It was very, very quick. I want to go back and stay a lot longer.
Okay.
To stay a lot longer.
This is my bishop, but I don't commemorate him. I belong to the church. I can't commemorate someone else because I belong there. You know, if I commemorate someone, it's like I go somewhere else. I can't go. I belong there. If he will be Orthodox, I don't believe it, I will commemorate him. But until then, I stop commemorating. And I fight against him, not as a person, as a teaching. Okay? Yeah.
Well, it's a problem.
A great problem, big problem.
It's a big problem.
Big problem.
What's the solution?
The solution is breaking communion and start fighting. You know, inform, we take the informations, make a spiritual life, prepare yourself, try to connect with Jesus Christ, all these things that we said. It's not an easy thing. To be a spiritual person is not an easy thing. It's a lot of work that you have to go through. And if you break communion with them, then other problems will come. You will be, okay, for you it's not so much because you are lay people and it's not a problem. For us now, Father Petros was defrocked and he has 5 children. And because he said, I can't be with you because you are ecumenists, it wasn't a court, it was something, it was ridiculous, not a court. You know, it was parody of a court, but they catholicized him. Of course, this Catholicism is not valid, according to the Holy Fathers. If they catholicized you because of the heresies, because you defend the Orthodoxy, Saint John Damascene says that it's a blessing if they catholicized you, because you become a confessor. So he's not catholicized. That's why we do holy liturgies. He's applying the mystery of repentance, the exomology, he's confessing, you know. How many saints they defrocked? Saint John the Chrysostom, Saint Gregorio Palama, Saint John Damascene, many saints, Saint Theodorus Studit, many, all the saints was defrocked, you know. So it doesn't mean something.
Well,
Yes.
so really, is the church will save our soul or the belief and pride? What will help us to save our soul to go to heaven? The church, the commemoration, or to pray? And strong belief.
Pray, strong belief, and not commemorate.
No, doesn't go to work. If you believe but it won't work,
listen, you have to believe, but you have to show your beliefs by action. You have to show. I can say that I believe, but how can I prove it that I believe?
Well, it's impossible to prove it. You
It
can't
is.
prove it.
No, you can.
Nobody can prove it.
Yes, you can.
It's only up to the person.
No, you can prove it. You can prove it. I will say to you how you can prove it. If I go to my bishop, that is Bartholomeus, okay, and I say to him, listen, I don't agree with what you do. And he says to me, if you don't agree, I will defraud you and I will throw you away. You have to go with me, otherwise I will persecute you. Then what I have to do?
Go away then, that's all.
Exactly. You see? I can't commemorate him anymore. If I commemorate him, I will take my place, I will have the money, I will have all these things, but I will not have Christ and the confession. I have to go, my beliefs and my confession must be public, must be obvious. You know? I can't say that I believe Christ, I pray, I believe in Orthodoxy, I fight for Orthodoxy, but I'm with Bartholomeus. I will be a liar. I will deceive Christ. Christ is not deceived. Can't deceive. You can't deceive God. But when I go up there, He will say to me, "Why you didn't do what the Holy Father's done? You know what you didn't? Why you didn't do what you had to do? To go against the heresies, to go against my enemies. You went. You was together with my enemies. So you are my enemy. So you go." Right, go left, go in my left, because I was with his enemies, you know. So I don't want to be with the enemies of Jesus Christ. I want to be with his friends, with saints. They will persecute us. Okay, I know this. They already do. A lot, you know. They say bad things about that. So what? So what? I want to be with Jesus Christ. Maybe they will kill us. Let kill us. It will be a blessing to kill us. It will be a great blessing. The greatest blessing to kill us. Who cares? We want to be killed by Jesus Christ, but we don't have the grace to happen this to us. We are not worth it, you know. So you can prove that you believe. If you go with the enemies of Christ, you don't believe him.
Do you know any Greek church in Melbourne that which one will be a good, a perfect?
No.
Thank you.
That's why we are coming with Father Petros here, you know.
Do you know any other church that is going straight? Thank you.
Yeah. No.
In this year, last year, I explore a lot of churches. And you know why? Because Agios Paisios, when he came to Melbourne, he mentioned one particular word. He called one place, he predicted. He said, here will be our Orthodox monastery. 20 years later, Abbess Anna from Gethsemane, from Jerusalem, arrived, and she bought that land and she built the monastery. But when she published it to apply to build a monastery, in a Greek paper, in a newspaper, wrote it, prediction of Agios Paisios become true. But it's not our Greek Orthodoxy, it's Russian. He said, our, they said, not our. See, the catchment here, do we all Orthodoxy will be different from each other? Will be judged differently? Or will be judged equally? Does it matter what you are today? Russian, Greek, Japanese, Chinese, whatever doesn't matter, but you Orthodoxy, and you'll be judged equally. Sign, what will judge us? Is that true?
Yes.
Or will be judged differently?
No.
Greeks will be separate, Russians separate, Serbians separate.
St. Paul says that there's no Jew and Greek,
Thank you.
there's no female and male in Christianity. Yeah.
So that means if it's our Orthodox Church, It's our Orthodox Church. Only one thing, like you mentioned earlier, don't commemorate a evil, who is doing evil things.
Yeah.
Then you are in problems.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to do and to say to people, you know.
Can I ask you which monastery was this?
But
The monastery you said that.
it's in Bambala. Bambala, near the
Kuma,
Okuma.
it's a Russian one.
It's
near Canberra.
Shifros,
Near Canberra.
in the snowy mountains below, like Ecumenism and those lakes.
You want to ask something?
Can Bartholomew, being a heretic, if he creates bishops and priests, are they canonical if they come from him, if he creates them?
Yes, yes. Because they have the priesthoodness.
Yeah.
He didn't lose it. But
If they still commemorate him, then
they have the priesthoodness, but it doesn't mean that they have the grace. For example, you listen, your father said that if you don't confess and you can't take the Holy Communion. You can take the Holy Communion without confess, without repent, but it's going to enlighten you, or you going to take hell, you know? It's not going to be light, but it's going to be fire. Huh? Correct? The same thing with these people. They have the priesthoodness, they do the holy liturgies, they do all these things, but they take fire inside them. They are not take grace, you know, because the grace have two sides. The grace is working two ways. Or it will enlighten you, or it will burn you. It's like the fire. The fire have two abilities, to give light, but to have the burning also ability. So the people that are Orthodox, they take light for the fire of the grace. But the other people that they are not ready, they are sinners, they are heretics, they are taking the flames, they are taking the heating of the, you know, the burning of the holy of the grace of God. Yeah. This is what's happening.
I have a question with the Holy Communion and also the confession. When you're confessing, and if your priest finishes your confession and you're not finished, and he just finishes it for you,
Why?
I would like to know that too. And you stop your prayers. No, you don't stop him, but at the end of it, he's actually finished saying the prayers, and you've said to him, Father, I actually haven't finished my confessions. I've still got a lot to say. I don't feel worthy of taking the Holy Communion. And his response to that would be, none of us are worthy of the Holy Communion, so therefore you should still take it. Now, my question here is, if you haven't confessed properly, because you've kind of been stopped from your confession, and you still go up and have your Holy Communion,
No, you
would that
can't.
be your...
You can't take it. How can you take the Holy Communion if you didn't confess and you didn't?
Clean yourself.
Yes, you have to go to a priest that you will do a confession, not the half, and you have to do the confession to release yourself.
There are priests out there that just...
You don't go to these priests.
Now I don't,
Yeah.
but in the past there are a lot of priests that...
Yeah, I know, but you don't go. Yeah. Okay.
So would that be classified as taking fire? Would be, wouldn't it? Because you're not really taking the hot grace, you're taking fire.
If you go to communion, yes, to take the Holy Communion, you don't have to go. You have to do it properly. You can obey to him if you see that he's not right. You can obey. It's your responsibility. You know?
Okay, I have a question completely different to what we've been talking about tonight. I'm in the process of purchasing a house, but I want to know, before I can get the house properly blessed, what can I do to bless my house with myself? Is there any prayers that I can say or
All the praise that you can say there is blessing the house, you know. And the most important is to take care of your personal life, not to do sins and these things, so you don't magnetize the evil and the bad vibes, okay? And when you make praise and when you do the incense and all these things, then the grace of God comes. And of course, you will need someone to make the sacrifice, agiasmo, we call it in Greek, when the house is built. So it will sacrifice the place. And of course, your life must be very careful, so the place will remain holy, you know. Yeah. With praise, with a good attitude, not bad companies.
do you know what I struggle with the most with that is pride is such a big thing and it's the root of everything, but it's the one thing that I fight with the most to try and keep my life humble.
Yes, of course. This is something that we're all fighting, to be humble and to be, not to get mad, to be furious sometimes that things are coming in, because also the anger is απόδειξη, is the proof that we are egoists, that we are proud, you know. It's the proof, you know. So we have to take care of these things, and of course it's not we say this today, tomorrow we will be angels. We're not going to be angels. We have to work on it, you know. And we will make mistakes. We will continue to make mistakes, to repeat these mistakes. But when we are fighting, God sees these things and will help you and throw away the anger, throw away the proudness, the selfishness, and all these bad things that we have to throw away to become human, you know, because we are not humans. We're something else. Yeah.
Nicholas, do you have any questions?
Answered all of them. I had questions, they were being answered.
Okay.
You're tired, you better swallow something.
Get comfortable.
Nice to be here.
Yes.
And we will continue to make some conferences in English also in Melbourne and in Sydney, but also we are making some speeches and some conference with Ellie. She have a channel that is exploring orthodoxy, and also we post it in my channel, Yanos Savas, Lambriotis.
She has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, and we are making some Orthodox speechings, and we are posting there. We don't care about how many people will see this and to have many people, and we don't care about to subscribe and all these things. It's not our thing. We are doing because many people want to learn, and we do it this way. We use these things to do it, you know. Otherwise, we don't have another way to contribute in these things that we do. Yeah. So it's nice to be here today with you. It's a blessing for us.
Thank you very much.
And we will be in contact, of course, and also you will be in contact with Zafira and Vasily and all these people. And because in one conference, in one meeting, you can't solve all these problems. But if you go in this path, then everything will be easier, much more easier and much more comprehensible. That this is what we need to do, you know? Okay.
Διευκόν να Αγίου Πατρώνων, Κύριε Ιησού Χριστέ, Θεός ελέησον και σώσον μας. Αμήν.
Thank you very